Hi there, Natalie with you today with a new process video for Pinkfresh Studio. And today I created two projects that are available at the blog right now. And the one I'm going to show you right now is the one that I created using one of the new Pinkfresh Studio cut files and the My Favorite Story collection. And I chose the Leafy Fantasy cut file for this layout, but I kind of moved them a little bit or transform it a little bit. What I did is I copied the leafy details twice and then created a heart around it so that I only have the leaves inside of the heart. And my idea is I want to make it the focal or the focal point of my layout. So I've played with the idea of using a few papers for the background. I did not want to use white cardstock. I want something that's going to make the heart stand out. So I always think that pattern paper is a great place to make white cutout stand out. So as you can see right now, I've also printed my pictures, and this is a film strip, and those are my niece and nephew, and in the middle I'm with my husband. And because of the times right now, I haven't seen them in over a month and I really miss them, so I thought it was only fitting that I document them. So all I'm doing right now is I picked my background, and this is the Joyful Heart paper, the B side. That's the one with the beautiful rainbow on this A side, but I love the B side. Is the soft pink with little grid of like a kind of a salmon tone. So I thought it was perfect to contrast the white outline of the background of the cutout. So what I did is I just used a pencil. I placed my heart in place, and I used a pencil to draw the outline. And all I'm doing right now is just using yeso to color inside of the heart outline. I want to make sure that it's completely white so I can add my mixed media to it. And I also want to make sure that it's only inside of the heart. I don't want any of the white pieces coming out. I want to try to keep at best the area of the heart with just the mixed media inside of the outline. So you're gonna see that I am carefully adding white yeso to the area. And I'm actually going to use quite a heavy coating of it because I want to make sure that it's completely white. I don't just want to haze the background. I want to really kind of white it out because I know that it's going to work. The colors that I want to add to them are going to work better if I have a white canvas instead of just a haze background. Then we're going to pick up some of the color of the pattern paper, and I don't want that. I want the true color of the ink to show. So I'm just gonna take my time and apply the yeso, like I said, quite heavy, and I'm gonna set it aside to dry for a little bit before I continue onto my mixed media application. And to add my mixed media, I'm actually gonna blend some colors, so kind of a little bit of card making techniques in a way. And I'm using a blending brush. I'm gonna be careful to use a paper so that my ink doesn't spill outside of the heart. That's the best way that I can say it. And I'm just picking up ink and going in a circular motion on top of the white outline of the heart just to bring the color. And I'm choosing ink colors that are in yellows and greens. I just want really soft tones. So the yellow inks, I'm using the Rise and Shine mini cube ink set. I just want a little bit of the yellow, but I want the softer tones. And I'm gonna kind of fill around a half of the heart, and then the other half I'm actually gonna use, I believe it's the green garden stroll ink set, and I'm gonna pick the lighter tones again of the green. That green is just pretty much the same. It came to the same tone as the Bloom and Grow paper, which is from the My Favorite Story collection. The soft green that is in the palette of that collection is reflected on this green. So I'm just going again on a circular motion, kind of filling the other half of the heart. You're gonna see that I am not being super careful about the way I am adding my ink because I know I'm gonna cover a little bit of it, and I really want the colors to show mostly, so I'm okay if there's not like a complete coverage show or a nice blending. You're gonna see why. So now what I'm gonna do for the heart is I want to create a little bit of translucency behind it. I want to kind of break it from the background. I want the background to show just as a soft shadow. So my choice is I'm gonna back the heart with vellum. The translucency of the vellum adds like a soft shadow that is gonna be perfect, and it's gonna cover all the imperfections of the background and soften it completely. So all I'm doing is I'm adding some glue bee to the back of the cutout and attaching it to some vellum, and then I'm just gonna take a pair of scissors and fussy cut around the outline of the heart, and that's just gonna give me the perfect background for my layout. Then all that's left to do is just glue it straight onto the mixed media heart that I have created, and I'm ready to work on the rest of the layout. So what I did outside of the camera while the ink dry is I fussy cut quite a few flowers from the Bloom and Grow paper. I'm gonna use those beautiful flowers to embellish my layout, and you're gonna see that I'm also gonna use the B side of the Bloom and Grow paper, which is that beautiful green paper with the white outlines of the flowers. I'm actually gonna use that paper to back my film strip. I just wanted something that kind of brings some of the background, that ink blending that I added onto the layout. And I played with a few of the papers, but I settled back with I even brought some papers from the Super Cool collection because I wanted something green, like, you know, that was gonna make all the leaves in the background kind of stand out a bit. And I went back to the Bloom and Grow paper because I thought it was the perfect, it just had the same tones that I have in the background. So you're gonna see that I'm just gonna literally frame the picture with the paper, and then I'm actually gonna add a little bit of foam adhesive behind the paper, in this case that I'm backing the picture with, because I just wanna, that's gonna help me make the picture stand out, kind of pop from the layout a little bit. And I'm gonna go ahead and place it, I'm gonna say in the lower bottom half of the heart, and that's the beauty of working with the grid. It just makes everything easier to just sit nicely straight. So now that I have it in place, all I'm gonna do is use some of the flower ephemera and also the flowers that I had fussy cut from the paper, just to create a few clusters around the pictures. And I really don't want to add flowers within the heart. I'm gonna add one or two, but not that many. I want the little leaf details of the cutout to stand out. So I'm gonna add most of the flowers to the top left corner of the pictures, and also to the bottom right corner of the picture, kind of creating a bookmark. Think of it as picture corners but made out of flowers. And I make sure that when I, before I printed the pictures, that I set them, the ones that had the most negative space in those little corners at the edges of the picture, so that I knew that I can add some flowers without covering faces. That's a kind of a pet peeve. I don't like covering faces or body parts with flowers or embellishments. So now that I have that in place, you're gonna see that I moved some flowers, and I'm just gonna place everything pretty much the way it's gonna sit, and then I'm gonna take it off camera and just add everything with foam adhesive. I took some of the flowers because I thought it was too much. Just it's better to go from less and build up than go for more and take away. So all I'm gonna do right now is just I play with some embellishments. I don't want to over embellish the layout. I think the flowers, the background, the mixed media are already lots of not lots of embellishment, but already creating quite a bit of embellishing, making it decorated, making it really soft for the layout. So I don't want to add more. I am gonna add a few stickers, some pieces of ephemera right to the little corners, like I talked about, where the clusters are. There's just a perfect space in there. And then I'm also, because I'm adding that little circle, that black circle ephemera to the top left corner of the picture, I'm actually gonna bring some of the chipboard stickers, just because they're circles, and just kind of add them also at the ends of the cluster, so that creates kind of a soft diagonal look on the page. Now the more that I saw the layout, I realized that I'm gonna add another cluster right at the top of the heart. But before I do that, I'm actually gonna work on the title, and I want the title to follow the same line as the pictures, kind of a horizontal line. So I'm gonna attach it parallel to the picture, to the bottom edge of the picture, and I'm going to use a combination of the puffy stickers, the ones with the beautiful script, and I'm going to mix some of the white alphas. These are the ones that have the beautiful gold detail. So the way I'm going to spell my titles, I'm going to put love you more. So the love and more are going to be in yellow. They're the script font, and then the U is going to be the beautiful block alpha, and I'm going to center the U right on at the bottom tip of the heart. So it just creates the soft line, and it just gives the attention to the U. And like I said before, I realized that I needed to add a small cluster, not that much, to the top corner of, not the top corner, yeah, but the top of the heart. So when I pull out a few more fussy cut flowers, and I added a few of the ephemera pieces, the floral ephemera, and I built a small cluster. And then I'm actually gonna add the little puffy sticker. There's a little camera. I'm just gonna add it at the corner. I don't want to over embellish. I don't want to add words, just a small detail there, just because it has that tone of green, and then a little heart in the center of the lens of the little puffy camera. And that's about it. My next struggle, and it's not a struggle, is I love adding journaling on my pages, but I didn't want to add black, like, black pen, because I thought it was going to be really harsh on this layout. I already have the pictures, and that's enough to I think that they just, like, they're popping. So if I add black writing at the bottom, it was just going to be very harsh. So my choice is I went out of camera and then just typed up my lines or journal on a piece of vellum. I was just careful. I'm glad that I have a wide format typewriter, so I was able to just type my lines or journal on a piece of vellum, and then I trimmed it. I make sure that I sized it so that it was smaller or at the same length as my title. I don't want anything longer, because then it's just gonna kind of throw the proportion of the layout. So I just like I said, typed it on my typewriter on vellum, and then cut it, and then I'm just gonna glue it at the bottom of the heart. And that's about it. All that I did at the end is add a few enamel dots to around the clusters, and that's about it. I love how this turned out. It was so much fun to put together. I started with an idea, and it just kind of slowly build, and I love how this turned out. And as always, don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. You can check the blog to get more details on how this came together. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you soon. Take care, guys.